Hello, and welcome to our sophisticated backpacks mod guide tutorial, however you want to say it. This is basically going to be a new sort of mini series that happens sparsely throughout the channel where I take individual mods and do a guide on them. Now, I've done this in the past, however, it wasn't very uniform or very connected. In this one, I'm going to try and use the same world, and once we're done explaining, a certain set amount of mods, so 5, 10, 15, whatever, we'll release the world with everything that I've set up so everyone can kind of explore it and go through and test the mods for themselves. With that being said, and out of the way, let's dive into our mod for today. So yes, sophisticated backpacks. This mod is in a lot of mod packs, and it's easy to see why. It's a very good mod. The backpacks are pretty easy to use. They have functionable hotkeys with upgrades, and you can sort them by name, by mod, by count, by tags, and all kinds of functional uses here. There's all kinds of settings over on the side. You can save settings to export to friends, save for yourself for later on, and so on and so forth. But this mod can be a little complicated, and if you've only ever picked it up and said I'm going to use it as a backpack mod, well, that's good, but you may be missing out on some really good features, such as the slot memory setting. So we're going to be going through all this today, and hopefully by the end of it, you'll understand how to use your backpack a little bit better and can get more uses out of it. Now, diving right on in, we're going to go through the settings first, and in order to do this, I think it's best that we get some various blocks here, and we dive into the settings. So with backpacks, you can either press B, which is the standard hotkey to open it, and this will open the first backpack in your inventory, or if you have one on your back, it'll open that one. This can be used to select specific backpacks as well if you order them correctly. So say we have this orange backpack, if I throw a log in there, and we have this green backpack, throw a log in there, whenever I press B, it's always going to open the first backpack in my inventory. So for this instance, it should be the orange one. Indeed, we have the log. And if I right click, I can open the one that's in my selected hand. So here we have the stripped acacia logs. If I move the orange backpack up, it's now going to become the green backpack that is auto-selected because it is the closest one in our inventory. And again, if I move the green backpack up, now we're back to selecting the orange as it comes first in inventory slots. So it's going to choose from hotbar first, then from inventory as far as like descending. And I believe your equipped backpack on your back should be the first one selected. So let's see. Yes indeed. All right, so that's pretty much how you use your backpack, how you open it and all that. If you hold down shift while you have it in your hand and right click, you can also place it into the world. Not only does this look cool, but it also has some functionality as far as later on goes when it comes to being able to take items out of your backpack quickly and refill it quickly. So diving back into the backpack here, we're going to click on this little cog symbol in the top right. And this is going to open the settings. Now, if we click on this first little tab here, backpack settings, it's going to pull up essentially where the settings for this backpack applies to. So just to this backpack or to the entire player. So basically for all backpacks, you can kind of switch it back and forth. And then you're going to have various like inventory management settings. So shift click into open tab first, shift click from storage or inventory will first try to put the stack in an open tab and only then into inventory or storage. Or don't do this and tries to put the first stack in just irregardless. So you have two separate options there. Keep tab open. On close of its GUI, the backpack storage records which upgrade tab was last open and opens it when the GUI is open next time. So basically the upgrade tab that you see there, that will get opened and closed essentially. That's what when the GUI is next open, all the tabs are closed. Yeah. Another player can open when this backpack is worn and visible. Another player can open it when right-clicking on this player's back. If you don't want that to be an option, you can turn it off. So there's a lot of sort of minute details that you wouldn't think were very important, but something like this can keep players from reaching in your bag, which is really nice. And something like this keeps your GUI very clean. So keep tab open off, keep tab open on. Obviously, if you're trying to keep it very clean GUI, you're going to keep it off. Moving on down, we're going to see this no sort slot setting. So what the no sort setting is actually going to allow you to do is select certain squares within your backpack that will not be sorted when you go to auto sort. So for example, if I were to take some birch logs and some strip logs and some stairs and a pressure plate. Now if I go into my backpack and I hit sort inventory, it's going to sort everything over here on the right, and it's not going to sort anything in the blue. This is useful if you have like specific equipment and tools that you like to keep in specific slots. So for example, if I like to keep my stairs always in the bottom right, then this is really nice, so I can sort my inventory and it won't affect it. And if I put these over here and all this kind of stuff kind of haywire, it will sort it back. So can be useful if you're someone that really prefers to have equipment, items, blocks, whatever set to a specific slot. If not, don't worry about it. You can undo the slot selected. So if I select all slots, you can undo it by right clicking, and this will sort of set the slots that you can. You can undo all, and you can left click to select individually. So it's really however you want to set it up, or if you want to set it up at all. Most people probably don't even know that that is an option. Slot memory settings. This is kind of like a no sort setting, but it's to do with how your backpack kind of interacts with all blocks in general. So basically, if I select all slots, it's going to remember our stripped birchwood and our birchwood and all this kind of stuff exactly where it is. And then if I pull it out of the backpack, essentially nothing can go into the slot that has been saved. So if I try to put these stripped acacia logs here, I'm clicking, can't do it. Better example, maybe if I try and highlight it out like this, you can see I cannot drop it onto these. So it essentially just saves slots in your backpack for an item or a block that you really, really don't want to be taken up by anything else. Obviously, this can be useful for things like logs, right? So that way you always at least have one slot for logs as you're out adventuring, all that kind of stuff. And this really comes in handy when it comes to auto refilling the backpack and keeping things nice and tidy. Next up, we have item display setting. This sounds a little complicated, but essentially what it does is allow you to select a slot that's going to display on your backpack. So for example, if I put this down, you can see there's the oak log. And if I was to pick this up, come in here, and let's give it a different item, say a chest. Now if I put it down, there's a chest. This can be useful if you're trying to like label your backpack. So for example, if this one was my building backpack, I might want it to be on oak logs, right? Because then whenever I run by, I can be like, okay, that's for building, and then one has food and one has travel supplies and so on and so forth. So can help with labeling your backpack, so to speak. And that's it. I mean, down here you have save settings, so you can save them and you can load. So that way, obviously if you want to save, this backpack has all these kind of settings and I want my next one to kind of have the same ones, so you can save it, load it, and then maybe change one or two features like this, right? You can also export your save settings, so that way you can take it to other mod packs, other people, whatever, you may be trying to share it for. So that is the basics of how the backpack works. A lot of people, this is probably where you kind of fall off, right? You're like, oh, I don't know about backpack settings and sorting and memory. Like, I just want a backpack. Well, now you can actually use these settings to their fullest advantage, such as, again, saving memory slots, so that way you can constantly refill your backpack or load it down and not have to worry about filling up your food slot or whatever it may be. Now, the second main component and large reason people use sophisticated backpack is going to be because of these upgrades here. You can see there are a ton of them. which allow you to do a number of things, such as voiding items, smelting items, stone cutting items directly from your backpack, or even auto feeding yourself with food items from your backpack. Now, all of these upgrades are going to come from the upgrade base. I'm not going to focus too much on recipes in this video and in this video series, because oftentimes in mod packs, the recipes get changed, as we all know. So the recipe may be this, or it may be something completely different. However, the upgrade base is always going to be the base for your upgrades, unless someone's really gone off the deep end and changed even these recipes. But you can see here for pretty much every single upgrade, anvil, void, crafting, chipped upgrades, filter upgrades, they're all going to have this upgrade base in the middle there. So if nothing else, I'm pretty sure that will pretty much remain the same throughout all mod packs. Now, to dive into the upgrades, because again, this is where people can kind of get lost in the sauce and kind of start saying, yeah, I don't care. I just need a backpack that does backpack type things. But in doing that, you kind of limit yourself to, well, a lot of really nice and unique abilities that are used from the upgrades. Sorry, I'm going to turn basically all of this volume down because the chests are just too loud every time I open them. So diving into this first backpack, we have a lot of upgrades, and one key note about each backpack is it can be upgraded through tiers. So it may be a little hard to see in the GUI here, but you can read them fairly easily. So this is a copper backpack, iron backpack, gold backpack, diamond backpack, and netherite backpack. And the way that you get them, again, the crafting recipe may be changed in the mod pack you're playing, but typically it's by surrounding the subsequent backpack, or the backpack from the lower tier, the tier just before, into the block of its selection, right? So a copper backpack, you would surround a normal backpack with copper ingots. An iron backpack, you'll surround a copper backpack with iron ingots, or you can skip the copper backpack altogether and just completely surround it in iron ingots. For the gold, you'll take an iron, surround it in gold. For the diamond, you'll take a gold, surround it in diamond. And for netherite, you'll take a diamond, a smithing template, and a netherite ingot, and bada boom. Most of the time, that will be the order of progression and the blocks and all that kind of stuff that you use to upgrade. But again, just remember that in certain mod packs, these recipes may be changed to be harder, easier, whatever, you know, the pack dev kind of wants or sees right for their system. So for today, we're going to be using the netherite backpack for the large majority, just because it has the most upgrade slots and it has a lot of space in here. So it's easy for me to go through and explain it all. But other than that, you know, you'll pretty much be progressing. And obviously, as the backpacks grow in tier, they also grow in size and amount of upgrades. So if you take a look at the netherite backpack, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 upgrade slots and a whole big backpack here. If you take a look at the copper backpack, we have a single upgrade slot and a whole lot less. Go up to iron, now we have 2, a little bit more, gold 3, getting you know, pretty good now. And diamond is typically where people rest at, because obviously getting to netherite takes a little extra oomph and you got to go into the nether. However, the diamond one has 5 upgrades, large slots. It's usually pretty good and worthwhile to get up to the diamond tier. Now, let's take a look at some of these upgrades. So first off, we have the smelting and the blasting and the smoking, basically all the furnace upgrades. And a lot of the upgraded upgrades, the tier 2 upgrades, right? So you typically have the upgrade base, deposit upgrade, and then there's an advanced version. Typically for the smelting upgrades, blasting, smoking, smelting, they're going to turn into auto upgrades. So for example, if I throw the smelting upgrade into my backpack, voila, I now have a usable furnace on the side. So I can throw in coal, I can throw in stone, and bada bing, bada boom, it's going to smelt it down. This is pretty good, obviously, but let's say I want to smelt it as I'm picking up items. Well, that's going to require a combination of upgrades, but for the large majority, you're not going to be able to just throw this into your backpack and have it start smelting. You're going to have to come over here every single time. That's where the auto upgrades Okay, it just instantly kills all of the fuel. I was actually a little curious about that. So if you stop your smelting upgrade, if you pull it out in the middle of a smelt, it will just cancel out whatever fuel is there. Now for the auto smelt, obviously I didn't even set anything. It just immediately pulled in our resources here and started smelting it up. So that's kind of the beauty of the upgraded smelting perk, is it's going to just start automatically doing it. Now, if you don't want it to do something, you can hit block. And then if I was to put this back over here, it won't do it. But if I hit allow, it's going to pull it right back over. Furthermore, the advanced upgrades rather, typically have more settings on them. So here you can match item, mod, tags, durability, no durability, NBT data, all kinds of stuff. And again, as it auto smelts up, it's gonna send it over into your inventory. If this is full, it should output down here in these 4 slots. And so, yeah, I mean, obviously the smelting upgrade is pretty nice, being able to smelt on the go while you're down digging into some mine shaft. However, the auto smelt upgrade is really what's going to be nice, because as you're mining through and picking up all these ores, it's going to go ahead and smelt it. So by the time you get back to your base, you're ready to use your iron. So the blasting and the smoking upgrade works the exact same way. The base one allows you to smoke items. So, shoot, let's see. Pull this out. Block that for a minute. It's just going to keep... it's just going to keep pulling stuff back in. One way you can turn this off if you don't want to is over here on the side, and this works for any upgrade. You can just tick it on or off. So if I tick it off, you can see I can pull stuff out and it won't put it back in. If I take it back on, it's going to send things right back in. So, pretty nifty there. We're going to take that out. Smoking upgrade. Again, same concept. I can throw coal over there. I can throw food over there. It's going to start smelting it. And again, smoking only works with food items, so I can't throw like a piece of iron over there. Right? It's just not going to work. And the blasting works the same way. However, you can only have one furnace upgrade on at a time. So we'll take the smoking upgrade out, put the blasting upgrade in, and now I can do these. Right? So that's pretty nifty. Typically, you don't see people use the blasting or the smoking upgrade because you can just use the smelting, which covers both sections, whereas with the smoking, you can't do smelting, and with the blasting, you can't do smoking. So it can be a bit tedious. And then again, same thing with the advanced upgrades. They're just going to turn into the auto versions and do it automatically for you. All right, so that's all of the furnace upgrades. Hopefully that is fairly well explained. The anvil upgrade is going to do exactly as its name implies and allow you to have an anvil on the go. So you can put in your enchanted book, your item, you can rename stuff, which honestly probably renaming is probably the best feature of this, because it means you can take name tags on the go and yada yada yada, you know, use them for zombies and whatnot. So most of these upgrades are pretty self-explanatory, but for those that may be in a pickle or in a bind, still going to go through and explain all of them. So stone cutter, same thing, allows you to have a stone cutter at your disposal. So now all those cobblestone are turned into stairs. Jukebox is going to do the obvious thing and allow you to throw a jukebox in, hit play, stop, play, stop. And last but not least, one of the most important upgrades is the crafting upgrade. This is going to allow you to actually have a crafting grid within inside your backpack. So now you can put in items, craft them, do whatever you need, all from your backpack. So it's kind of like a crafting grid on a stick, but upgraded, because now you also have an entire backpack to hold items. And again, there's a couple of options here. So if you shift click, it can either go into the player's inventory. So if I make a chest here, shift click, it's going to go down, or I can turn it to the backpack, and the arrows are pretty indicative of which way it's going. I can shift click and it's going to go into the backpack. So that's some of the base upgrades, some of the base, what I would call like Minecraft upgrades, right? You got your jukebox and your anvil and all this kind of stuff. So moving us along, we're going to get into some more useful upgrades, some of the higher tiered upgrades, we'll say. So let's right click here. We're going to start out with the feeding upgrade. This is going to feed player with food from the backpack. So if I put in bread here and throw bread up and allow, we're on peaceful mode. So I'm going to have to go to normal, and maybe I can get like a campfire. Probably also just go walk into slime, but whatever. Gonna get that saturation all the way down. Okay. So you can see now as we lose health, it's gonna immediately eat there for us. It's a little hard to tell, but as the bar goes down, we'll see it here in just a second. It's down and auto eat. So it's pretty basic in that manner that it does exactly what you think. It's gonna feed you what's in the slot. You can also block certain items. So say like, okay, well, maybe I don't want to eat my enchanted golden apples, right? Just the bread. Same thing. Just block that and it should still auto eat. Be careful because again, if you have the auto feed upgrade in and you do have something like enchanted golden apples and it's not blocked and they're in your first slot, guess what your ass is eating? Enchanted golden apples. So it's going to pull from the top left, from the top left down. So if you want to prioritize things like this, you can. Or again, if you want to be extra sure, you can come into the block, place the item, and now we never have to worry about accidentally eating our enchanted golden apples. Equally so, say you're going into a boss fight and you're like, well, I don't want to eat bread. I just want to eat enchanted golden apples. Then you can block the bread. Fairly simple. For the advanced feeding upgrade, you're going to get a lot more options, and this I recommend because it's going to save you on some food. Here, you can select when it's going to feed you, so only waste half hunger, don't waste any hunger, or you can waste when there's a few hunger points. I typically leave it at half or none because I really hate wasting food, but you know, that's entirely up to you. Here, you can also filter based on what your health is, so feed player immediately when hurt is going to keep you pretty energized, pretty healthy, right? This is do not consider the player's health at all, only feed based on the hunger setting, so it doesn't matter how many times you get hit. I'm not sure in what setting you would want this to, you know, in which situation you want this setting, but to each their own, I suppose. And then, yeah, so just on or off. Either feed the player or don't feed the player when immediately hurt. Again, you can match by item, mod, tags. So if you wanted to go tags and then say, put the bread here, what you can do is hover this little add tag and you can scroll to select different things. So now if I hit foods, add tag, it's going to eat any food, which means if I put in the enchanted golden apple, that has the same tag as being food. All right, so I hope that is well explained enough with the feeding upgrades. It's going to feed you and you can select what it feeds you, what it doesn't feed you, when it feeds you. Moving on to the tool swapper. First, we're going to get rid of all this stuff. So yeah, moving on to the tool swapper upgrade. Now, when we put this in, you're going to say, Chance, where's my tab of selections and all this kind of stuff? The interesting thing with the tool swapper is there are no settings for the base one because you don't need any settings, right? It does exactly what its name implies, and it's going to swap out tools based on the appropriate block. So if we have wood there, dirt there, cobblestone there, well, it should swap. Backpack, you're making me look embarrassed. Automatically swaps item and in player's hand for the one effective. Excuse me? Oh, maybe it's because we have all these other backpacks. Hold on. I may be causing this myself. No? That's still not oh, do I still have another backpack on me. Okay, well this should be working. Let's see. But it is not, is it? Automatically swaps item in player's hand for the one effective on the block entity when these are left clicked. Well, let me try putting it into my backpack slot. Left click. And these are left clicked. Left click. Maybe there's supposed to be a setting for this and it's just not popping up. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's because we still have that one in. Yeah, because it's certainly not swapping. But I know that this one works, the advanced one. When these are left-clicked. Interesting. Maybe it has to be in the backpack? Oh, okay. So if you put all your tools in the backpack, then as I'm left clicking, left clicking, left. No, maybe you have to leave one tool out. Yeah, okay. Well, that's pretty nifty then. I'm glad we figured this out on camera. I was expecting it to just refill in your hand or sort of select the right one. But this is interesting because it means you can actually keep all of your tools and weapons and all that kind of stuff in your actual backpack without clogging up your inventory. So yeah, wood, dirt, stone. Nice, nice. Okay. And again, we're learning together. So for the advanced tool swap upgrade, you're going to get a few more options here. We're going to turn this back to peaceful. So yeah, you can have it to where it swaps weapon when you click on an entity, or to where it doesn't do this at all. So maybe I should have left those slimes there. Let's get a diamond sword real quick. And put this up here. So now if we go, let's go easy. If I run over here to a slime, I left click, it should swap out my sword. There we are. Beautiful, right? And of course you can change it to where it doesn't do this. You can change it to where it swaps tool. Okay, so yeah, you have the swap weapon, don't swap weapon. Tools, basically the same thing. Swaps appropriate tool into hand when holding weapon or another tool. So essentially this is just like before. If I have these placed down and I'm holding the tool, we have our other tools in the backpack. As I click, it's going to swap out. So this will make it to where basically if I'm using my sword, it's not going to swap. But if I'm holding my pickaxe, it will swap. Now the difference is if I come back to this and I have my sword out, it's going to swap. See? So if you have both of these selected, it's kind of fun because then you can keep all of your items up in here and you can select on the block you want to mine. And if you go and hit an entity, then it's going to swap to a sword. But if you want more minute control over when to swap to your sword and, you know, don't ever put my sword away kind of things, then I would recommend having it kind of like this and putting only swap for other tools. So that way this first item can still swap around, but your sword never will, and you'll always have it ready for combat. Same thing as before. You can block, you can allow, match item, mod, tags, yada, yada, yada. And matching by tags on this is actually pretty good because then you can just put in an item and you can scroll down to tools. And now it won't swap for any of my tools. So if I click, 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 it's not swapping. Come back here and hit allow. It's going to allow for all tools. This is pretty nifty, especially if you're playing in a mod pack that has wrenches and all this, that, and the other kind of stuff, or tools that are specific. So like if you're going to need a tool specifically for leaves or whatever. So yeah, that's the tool swap. Really, really useful, especially for keeping your inventory clean, decluttered, organized, all that kind of stuff. And then with a combination, you can also, you know, say I'm always going to keep my tools up here. And I want them to always have a slot in my backpack. Then I can come through. If I want to just select them individually, I can just click. And now nothing will ever fill in these slots. And as I use them, they'll go back to that specific slot. Hold on, I don't have the tool swap. Upgrade in. So now, let's say I have my axe out. My pickaxe automatically comes back here. swap to pickaxe, my axe automatically goes back here instead of coming up. So that's where the memory slot can kind of help you. And again, if you don't want to sort it, you can come in here, select these, and when you go to sort your inventory, your tools and weapons will always stay down below. So this is kind of how you can use a combination of upgrades and backpack settings to really make your backpack your own, right? So now my tools, my weapons, and all that are always going to be in the bottom left. If I pull one out, the slot remains the same. And if I use, well, I guess the sword was a bad example there. If I use my tool, it's going to swap it around and keep my inventory nice and organized. So yeah, after that, we have the magnet upgrade, which is another large benefit a lot of people end up getting the backpack for, is the magnet. And again, you can change it. Do not pick up experience, pick up experience, pick up items, do not pick up items. Fairly simple for the base. You can block, you can make it to where it only matches backpack contents. So basically, if I have logs thrown on the ground, but I don't have any logs in my inventory, it's not going to pick up to the backpack. It's not going to magnet, rather. Oop, that's fire. But if I turn this setting off, there we go. It's going to automatically pick them up. And again, you can turn off pick up items. Now it's not going to pick them up. Turn it back on. There we are. The advanced magnet is going to do exactly what you think, and it's going to give you more options. Match by item, match by mod, match by tags, durability, no durability, NBT, all that kind of stuff. So again, feeding, tool swapping, magnet, these three are going to be huge utility-based upgrades that are really going to make your backpack and your Minecraft experience all of the easier just from having a backpack on. Now we're going to get into some utility type upgrades. I'm going to save these pickup upgrades for just here in a minute. First off, we have the everlasting upgrade, which means the backpack cannot be destroyed. Can't despawn if it falls into the void. Can't be destroyed by throwing it in lava. So let's see here. If I go lava, give me a bucket here. Now, our backpack has the everlasting upgrade on it. We'll take the diamond backpack. Cha-ching! Not going to break. Whoop. Not going to break. Not going to throw in the lava. Not going to lose all your stuff. Now, if I was to take this off... bye-bye backpack. So yeah, definitely useful if you're going to be in dangerous scenarios. Taking a look at some of the other upgrades, we have the Inception upgrade, which allows you to put backpacks into the backpack. So now I can have a netherite backpack and another diamond backpack and an iron backpack. However, if this Inception upgrade isn't in there, okay, well, it won't even let you take it out. But if this Inception upgrade isn't in there, I'm clicking, the backpack will not go in. Absolutely will not. Block scan, no backpacks. Inception upgrade, and there goes backpacks. It's also settings. Upgrades work with inventory of main backpack first. Upgrades work with inventories of backpacks in backpack first. So I guess this would be for like, if you had an auto smelting upgrade, it would auto smelt things within the backpacks within this backpack. That's pretty freaking sick. That's really cool. So yeah, Inception upgrade and the everlasting upgrade, these are kind of utility based because they just help keep you stocked with more backpacks or help your backpacks not be destroyed. The pickup upgrade is kind of like the magnet upgrade, but worse. I mean, that's pretty much the only way to describe it. It's going to put items automatically into your backpack. So it's not going to magnet them to you, but if I pick it up as I walk over it, it should go into my backpack, whichever one I put that upgrade into. There it is. So let's get rid of these other ones so I'm not continuing to confuse them. So yeah, let's see that again real quick. Dirt, cobblestone, pick it up, and automatically goes into the backpack. If this is turned off, it will automatically go into your inventory, just like in normal Minecraft. So the reason I say it's just worse than a magnet upgrade is because if I take, well, I guess I kind of just deleted my magnet upgrades. If I take a magnet upgrade and throw it in, this is going to automatically put things into your backpack as well, but it's also going to magnet them to you. So it's got a bigger pickup radius, and it's going to put them into your inventory. So the pickup upgrades, I mean, yeah, they do stuff, you know, but I think I would always rather have a magnet upgrade, personally. Anyways, moving right along. We're going to get to the storage, the like fluid storage stuff dealing with backpacks. So we right click on here, you'll see we have a battery storage that can be used for storing energy. And here we have fluid storage, which as you saw there, will pick up nearby fluids. So that's going to be using the pump upgrade. Pump upgrade has an input, has an output, but be careful, obviously, if you output. I'm not even sure where that just put the lava. But as you saw, it will just put it into the world. So if I put this bucket of water down and we say, oh, well, hold on. Yeah, so be careful because it will just put it down wherever. And if I go to input, it's going to pick up the water. Output, it's going to put it down. Now, you're saying, Chance, this is pretty chaotic. And then I'm going to say, well, yeah, this is just the base backpack upgrade. And so really what you would end up doing is kind of filling it up with fluids. So this is water. And then you would go back to your base and say, oh, I have this big old pond that I need filled up. This huge, massively overgrown, oversized pond. And I need to fill it up. So you'd put the backpack down and you'd say output. And this is going to fill up all the water, and you can come back and pick up your backpack. Water's going to stay down. You're going to have a nice big pond, and you didn't have to place 10 million buckets of water, right? So that's one way it can be useful. But really, this basic pump upgrade, yeah, it's going to be a little annoying if you're just running past your base and you start picking up all the water from your nearby pond. So be careful with the pump upgrade. It is... it can be tricky to use. Same way, though, with this little water tank in the backpack. We can deposit water. We can take it out. Same goes for any fluid, really. And the pump and the tank are separate. So here you've been seeing them work in conjunction. That's because I think that's how they're best displayed. If I take the pump out, take the experience pump out, now we just have a tank in our backpack. So I can still hold water, but if that water's in the world, it's not going to... Oh, shit. Sorry. Ignore the small fluid tank. It's not going to... Son of a bitch. It's not going to pick up the water, right? So you see now, it's not picking it up. However, I can pick it up, come in here, and deposit it. So the tank is pretty good by itself. The pump, on the other hand, is useless by itself. I have the pump upgrade in, and we are not picking up any of this water. Why? Because we don't have a tank to put it in. Second that I put the tank upgrade back in, boom, water picks up. So in order to use the pump upgrade, you're really going to need the tank upgrade in. And then, yeah, you can just sort of use little inputs, outputs here on the side. It's not really a settings menu, so to speak. But if you have like a actual tank, so for example, this small fluid tank, let's go game mode creative real quick. What we're going to do is we're going to take this out. We're going to take this small fluid tank, fill this bad boy up. We'll go back into survival, break it, and now I have a big tank full of water. What I can do is throw this on the input, and it's going to slowly input it. So that's what these two slots are actually for. Yes, you can use the bucket, but you can also use the bucket directly on the tank. So this is more so if you don't want to have to continuously say click, 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 click. I don't know how you insert more than one, though, because it just keeps inserting and exporting. So I guess, yeah, just put it on the side there. Anyways, that's the basis for the tank and the pump upgrades. There's also an experience pump upgrade. So let's say we take this out, take that out, get another tank upgrade here, put it in, and I guess we'll need to go back to normal. We don't really have a sword anymore, but that's fine. We'll use an axe. So the experience pump is going to pump experience into your backpack here. So if we run over here and catch a slime with his pants down, you can see I'm picking up experience just like normal. However, if I come into my backpack, this should, it's not. Oh, I was pressing the wrong button. Should allow me to store experience. So here we have 3.0. I'm not sure how much experience that actually... Oh, it equates to exactly 3 levels. So I wonder... Okay, so now we have like half of an experience. So let's store all. 3.3. Okay, interesting. Take all. So yeah, you can obviously select various things. And if you scroll here, it will stop the pump at various things. So if you only ever want there to be 30 levels within the pump, you can stop it here. Won't ever go over. Turn the pump off, turn it on. Pump experience to the player. So if we were to store all the experience, you can see it's immediately coming back to me. However, if I turn this down to level 1 and I store all the experience, it's only going to pump back out enough experience to get me to level 1. So that can be kind of useful. If I pump it up to 2, now it's up to 2, put it up to 3, it's going to take it all. And again, I can put it down to 0, and it's going to keep all of our stuff in. So hopefully that all makes sense. The battery is just a tank, but for energy. So if you have batteries, if you're using thermal, things of that nature, that's where the battery upgrade is really going to come into handy. But it's essentially the same thing as with the pump. You can pump into, you can pump out of. Another thing that you may not think possible, but is certainly possible, is this, that's my water, is you can take the backpack, place it in the world, and you can actually use it as it were some kind of storage block. So here, this backpack has water in it. If I put a pipe on it from pipes, which is a different mod, but just bear with me, you can see that we can output from the backpack using this mod into a fluid tank. So just as I said earlier that you can pick up and put down your backpack, what you may want to do is as you come back into your base, you could shift right click, throw it down. Obviously, you would want this set to an auto export in some manner. But yeah, then it's going to start picking it all up. So you can kind of just run into your base, throw down your backpack, all the fluids that you picked up on your travels, whether it was lava or water or oil or whatever, you know, they're going to go into your system. So pretty nifty. Moving us right along from the water and the pumps and all that kind of stuff of backpacks, we're going to get into utility upgrades that I don't necessarily use that often, but could have some pretty big implications, especially if you're playing in a mod pack that has less automation and less utility in other mods. So diving right in, we have the compacting upgrades. They're going to do pretty much exactly what you'd think. So for the base one, it's only going to allow you to do 2x2 recipes. So here you can see we have allow, we have clay balls, and works in the GUI. The other option is works only with upgrades and automation. So like other mods essentially, or like inputting things into it automatically and exporting. We just wanted to work with the GUI so I can simply show you. You can change the compact setting so it can only compact stuff that is uncraftable, meaning you can revert it, or it can compact anything. Now, if I have it compact only in craftable and I put the clay balls in, nothing happens because you can't craft clay back into clay balls. Even though you can place it down and break it, doesn't fit the setting. However, if I turn this to craft or compact anything, put the clay in, boom, clay to clay. Remember, this is only 2x2 recipes though, so if I was to say raw iron here and put it in, it's not going to work. That's where our advanced compacting upgrade is going to come in. So again, you can have tags on this, which does come in handy, especially if you're doing something like this. So you can do see raw materials, add it, and then if I go get any raw ore, copper, gold, iron, it's going to automatically compact them down. And since all of these are uncraftable, this setting actually works, right? Because I can take a block of raw iron, put it in my inventory, and get it all back out. And that's pretty much it. Does exactly what you think it would do, and does do B. And it just compacts things down for you. This can be really useful if you're playing like an all the mods mod pack and you just have a crap ton of cobblestone. But oftentimes in the all the mods mod pack, it will have like compressed cobblestone and all that kind of stuff. So this will allow you to keep your inventory nice and clean and kind of compacted automatically. Again, I don't tend to use it because there's not too many times where I'm playing both a pack that has this mod, has compacted recipes, and I'm in a situation where I'm mining so much that I need to compact those recipes. Is it useful? Yes, situationally. Is it useful very often? Not that I've found, but you know, you can make an argument for it. Sure, certainly. Moving us right along, we have the Restock and the Advanced Restock upgrades. So what these are going to do is allow you to restock your backpack from sneak right-clicking on an inventory. So here we have the Restock. We are saying allow bread. So if I was to take this backpack, we have bread in the chest, and I'm heading out the door. I'm going on an adventure. Let me make sure I have food. Shift. Oh, hold on. Shift. Right-click. Now we have bread in the inventory. However, it did not pick up all the torches, which is really nice. It didn't pick up all the upgrades, right? Now if I hit block bread and I come back through and I say, oh, I'm going on an adventure, shift right click, well, shit, now it just picked up all the torches, all the upgrades, and left my bread behind. So that's pretty much as simple as it is. You can do match backpack. So essentially if I have cobblestone, and all this stuff in here, and some cobblestone, the only thing I have already in my backpack is cobblestone. So if I shift right click, now we have cobblestone. Ignore this piece of bread that wouldn't actually be there. So again, if it's on bread, now it's in the inventory. Pretty simple stuff. Where is... we were using the restock. Okay. So for the restock, same kind of idea, except you can match by tags. And again, this can be really useful if you're using things like tools. Come down here and hit specifically C mining tools. And then if I was to put these in my backpack, or rather put them in a box, and I say I'm about to head out, come through, shift right click, it picked up my diamond axe, my diamond pickaxe, and my wrench, because the wrench is also a tool. Pretty simple stuff, and again, it's just shift right click to pick up and put it into your backpack. The refill upgrade, this one is kind of nifty, kind of useful, but I don't think it gets really the same attention that it really should. So this is going to keep refilling stacks in your inventory, or rather more specifically in your hotbar, that are selected. So for example, if I put all my torches into my backpack, it's going to automatically send a stack down, as you see there. Can't get rid of it no matter what. If I come down here and I was to go through an entire stack, boom, I have another stack at my disposal. Now this won't work if I have a stack already in my inventory, but not in my main bar. So here, you can see it's not throwing a stack of torches into my main bar. Bring these down, use them up, it will go back to refilling me. So that's how the base refill upgrade works. You do have to select what you want to refill up here. It's not just going to keep refilling random items into your backpack or into your slots. That wouldn't make any sense. And then we have the advanced refill, which not only has more slots, but also has more options. So as we put an item in here, it's going to have settings, and you're going to be able to scroll to change these settings. So this is going to change what it's actually refilling to. Refill to hotbar slot 1. Cool. Now it's always going to send my torches to slot 1. Slot 2, always going to send them to slot 2. Obviously, this is very, very useful. If you want it to go to any slot, then it'll just go to the first available. If you want to go into your offhand, boom. And it's just going to keep restocking it with all the torches that I have in my backpack. Now, the other thing to note is I think it won't restock until you get below a set item of 64. So yeah, you see as replacing all these down. Oh, actually, those were coming from a main hand. Whatever. You get the point. So the refill upgrade can be really useful, especially with things like torches, or if you're using, what are they? The ender pearls that you throw to find the fortress. I'm blanking. Eye of Ender. They can be useful on things of that nature. But yeah, so that's the refill upgrades, the compacting upgrades, and the restock upgrades. Then we have the depositing upgrades, the advanced voiding upgrades, filter upgrades, and stack upgrades we all need to go through. Now, the deposit upgrade is basically the exact opposite of the restock upgrade. So the restock upgrade is going to pull things into the backpack when you sneak right click. The deposit upgrade is going to deposit items. So if I take this chest here and I shift right click, everything that was once in my backpack is now gone. Right? So that's, I mean, and the same thing with the advanced upgrade. You can do it by tools, by items, matching tags. So basically all the same settings that you're used to. But again, the deposit puts items into a chest. The restock pulls items out from a chest. So ideally what you would have is a deposit and a restock. The deposit upgrade is going to say everything you want to put in. So match tags, we'll remove tools. We'll say cobblestones, right? We want to put in, we always want to deposit our cobblestones. So if we have that in here, we don't, we don't have to worry about it. In tools, we always want to pull tools out. So here we have a set of tools in there. We have a set of cobblestone in here. I have a restock upgrade. I have a deposit upgrade. If I shift right click, now we have the tools in here and the cobblestone in here. Pretty nifty, right? And that's typically how you would actually use this in your backpack. Say you want to pull your tools in and you want to deposit all your blocks. Coming back over here, we have some more obvious kind of options. We have the void upgrade. It's going to allow you to void things. Pretty important that you do match this to allow. You don't want to set this on the block option. Otherwise, with void any and block, it's going to void any block. Especially with magnet, it could be a great way of deleting a lot of hard work. And then works in GUI. So for example, void any, don't block, boom, it's voiding everything. Everything I send into this backpack is gone. So be careful about that. Void overflow, pretty interesting mechanic here. It will allow you to keep at least one stack of anything in your backpack. So again, there's one stack of oak logs. However, if I try to go over that, it's just voiding it. I'm shift clicking it in, it's deleting it. Now, if I make this work only with automation, I can't shift click in and have things voided. It's only going to void it if I'm pumping items in using pipes or hoppers or whatever. So yeah, I would recommend always having this on allow, because with allow, with a blank list in allow, it's not going to delete anything. However, if I put something in, oh, it's because, yeah, now it should work. Boop. And boop. So obviously the void upgrade is pretty awesome as far as like deleting excess cobblestone and maybe excess grass and seeds and flowers and all this kind of stuff that you wouldn't typically give a shit about. And same thing with the advanced void upgrade. It's just basically going to give you more options. You can match by tag, by items, NBT, no NBT, all that kind of stuff. But be careful. Be careful with the void upgrades, because they can cause some serious mayhem. Now the filter upgrade, this is specifically for use with other mods, because it's going to allow you to filter what comes in and goes out of the backpack. Obviously you can use hoppers with this as well, but more than likely you're going to be using pipes and things of that nature, laser IO, whatever, So this is going to filter specifically what can go in. So wood can now go into our backpack. Wood can now come out of our backpack. don't allow, do allow, match backpack contents. It's the same filtering options. The only difference is these filters are made specifically for controlling the backpack when interacting with external logistical systems. And I hope I said that as simple and as direct as I could. So it's just a filter. Same way all these have filters specifically for the backpack. These filters are going to be specifically for things going in or out of the backpack. Next up, we have the stack upgrades. These are pretty huge because typically in Minecraft, as we all know, a stack is 64. Throw them in here. Yep, 64. However, with the stack upgrades, it's going to allow you to increase the max stack size. So this is going to multiply the max stack size by 1.5. So now all of our diamonds can hold 64 plus half of another stack, 1.5, 32 to make 96. Now, obviously, this means that I can hold more diamonds in less space. Oh yeah, we can't take it out once we're using it. So pull all the diamonds out. The stack upgrade tier 4 is obviously going to work a bit better. Now we can store all of these diamonds in one single slot. So that's 640 diamonds, and it's not even the max amount that we can have. And we're not taking up however many slots this would typically be, right? We're only taking up one. So we go from taking up 10 slots to one slot. Obviously, the stack upgrades are very, very useful and something you'll probably want to look into as soon as you can. Last but not least here, we have utility upgrades, which typically stem from other mods. So let's take cobblestone and maybe some dirt, I guess. So here we have a bunch of chipped mods. For those of you that know the chipped mod, you'll know that this essentially allows you to alter the way blocks look. What the backpack upgrade does is allow you to use the table as if it were in your backpack. So here I can go through and select various cobblestone textures, and now I have it available to be used. This is pretty useful, given typically if you want to do this with chipped, you'll need to get the table. You'll need to run up to the table, right click on it, select your block, and then you can go through and select whatever you want to do. But if you're trying to build on the go and customize as you're, out in your base and your chipped base table is 100,000 blocks away or something, then this really comes in handy as far as being able to, get more of that one specific style block that you needed. The only thing I will say is it doesn't give you the same preview options, which I really love, being able to see what the block looks like on a larger scale. But still useful nonetheless. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it. You now know sophisticated backpacks to its full extent. Bet you didn't think it was going to be that easy. I bet you I confused you during some points. No, in all seriousness, I do hope this video helped to explain and most importantly, expand your useful working knowledge of sophisticated backpacks. This is a mod that's been around for quite some time. I don't really see it going anywhere. A lot of the things that we talked about today can also be done in the sophisticated chest, which comes from the same sort of base core mod, but I didn't want to confuse people with these are backpacks, these are chests, yada, yada, yada. So just know that the sophisticated core works a lot in the same way. So whether you're using chests or backpacks, a lot of these upgrades are going to essentially do the same thing. If you did happen to learn something from this video here today, please be sure to leave a like down below. Comment in the comment section what exactly you learned or how you'll be using backpacks moving forward after this. And of course, comment if you have any questions as far as anything that I may not have answered in dealing with backpacks. Subscribe if you're new here. You want to see more awesome content from yours truly. Share this out with friends, family, strangers down the street, and random backpackless people you might meet. As per the usual, I do hope you all stay safe, stay awesome, and stay crafting. Until next time, you beautiful, beautiful people, peace out.